Hey guys, it's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a weekend twin flame reading. So this is going to be, if you're not resonating with the twin flame journey, this will apply to you in the same way that a soulmate or a love reading would. So this is going to be for the general collective. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And let's get into it. So I just bought a new deck, the traditional Rider-Waite. I have a lot of decks of cards and I just didn't have this one in my collection, so I feel like Ariel when it comes to cards. I always want more. So let's see what comes up for this weekend. It's Friday today. I think it's Sunday that we're having a new moon in Virgo. So Saturn also just went direct. We've had a lot of planets coming out of retrograde. We've had a lot of Earth energy as of late. So it's been really good for getting a little bit more productive because I feel like the summer energy of 2018 was really, I wouldn't say unproductive, but it was a little bit, it was more introspective than it was action-oriented. So let's put it that way to keep it positive. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Whoop. Right off the bat, we got the Queen of Cups. So I'm going to put that in the top row there. We'll see what else comes up. The Magician. I'm going to do 4 cards and then get clarifiers for each one. Oh, we got the 8 of Swords. And the Queen of Wands. Okay, so we have 2 queens. We've got the Magician, and we've got some anxiety. So let's see, get clarifiers for the Queen of Cups. More for the Queen of Cups. And I'm getting a buzzing in my left ear. Magician. Interesting. Okay, clarifiers on the 8 of Swords. And if you guys would like to book a reading with me, you can do so by emailing me. My email is in the description box below. All of the prices are as follows in that description box. And we can get you set up. So, last one, we're clarifying Queen. Okay, Queen of Wands. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh boy. All right. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, I'm going to go 2 at a time. So we've got the Queen of Cups being clarified by the 9 of Swords. This is emotionally balanced female energy, and that doesn't have to be a man or a woman. It's just female energy, which is receptive, intuitive, feeling emotional, but in a healthy and balanced way. But because it's coming up with the 9 of Swords, it's saying that emotions may be getting overshadowed right now by the mental blocks. So there may be some kind of anxiety or sleepless nights, or let's say nightmares, or not necessarily even nightmares or night terrors or something like that extreme, but maybe just having uncomfortable dreams or uncomfortable self-talk or anything like that coming from the ego. So it's kind of overshadowing the balanced emotions, and it can actually stir up unwanted negative emotions. So with that, we got strength and death. So death is actually a good thing, or it can be perceived as a good thing because it's a transition. So it's a transitionary energy, and it will take strength to go through that energy, but ultimately it's a rebirth. So he's riding in and he's starting something new. So I think that this is actually positive in that instead of getting overshadowed by the emotions caused by the anxiety and the mental, I want to say like overthinking, just completely overthinking something, getting so in your head about something that you feel stuck and unable to move forward, or emotionally paralyzed. Basically, that's what I'm getting from this. So strength is about being able to curve that being able to curve that sense of self-degradation or negative self-talk. So having the strength to go through the process of killing off that negative ego in your mind, because your mind is your thoughts, yes, and you're in control of that. But sometimes you can have outside thoughts influencing you, or negative thoughts coming from your ego that are, again, influencing you in a way that is detrimental. So it's important to be aware of the voice in your head that is dictating yes or no. Is it coming from a place of positive intuition? If not, then it's time to have the strength to tame that baser instinct of fight or flight, or of getting in your own head in a negative way, and because that's ultimately what you're going to create. When you are focusing so intently on a negative thought process, you're sending that energy out into reality, and you're therefore drawing it to you, because your vibe attracts your reality, or the frequency that you're at depicts what your reality is going to be. So in the circumstance of a love reading, as this is a twin flame reading, soulmate reading, whatever it will be, we'll just call it a relationship reading for the weekend. This is it's time to get out of your head, and I'm going to go into this more, but I'm getting communication. So communication from a healthy place is going to be required, or it will be beneficial. Let's say that. Okay, so moving on with the Magician, we got the 7 of Pentacles. So the Magician is the master manifester. He is what's the word I'm looking for here? He is the creator. There we go. He's the creator of his reality. And like we were just talking about, if you're creating from a place of fear, then that's what you're going to receive. Or if you're creating from a place of lack, then that's what you're going to receive. So the 7 of Pentacles coming up next to that, it's like you've manifested, or you've been trying to manifest something, and now you're waiting, and you may have been waiting for a long time, and maybe that's why there's this anxiety and this need for strength to go through the process of killing off the ego, which is negatively telling you this isn't going to happen for you, this isn't going to work, whatever it is that your negative self-talk that is occurring in your head. It's your I want to say responsibility, but it's because nobody else can change your thought. It's up to you to change how you're thinking, the patterns of your thought that are leading to this, because you don't want to be waiting all this time and then manifest something negative based on the fears that you let creep in during the process of manifestation becoming reality. So then, to clarify those 2 cards, we got the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. So we got 2 pages. Wands are in relation to passion and new projects. Pentacles are about manifesting physical things and messages coming from the physical realm. So both of these pages represent messages or information that can come to you through any kind of reality. Like, okay, for example, the other day I went down to the river and down to the river and I started seeing hawks everywhere. And it's actually a pretty crazy story, which I won't go too in depth into, but I saw about 4 hawks that day, 3 hawks in person. One of them was dead, and one of them was flying, one of them was plastic. So that made me think, you know, what was the purpose of this? What was the synchronistic significance of this? What do hawks represent to me? And what does the 3 different forms that they presented themselves in? Sorry, guys. It's my roommate. I'll call her back after. So, shout out Sarah. What's up, girl? I ignored your call. Sorry. She watches my videos. So, basically, what the hawks represented to me was being the bridge between heaven and earth, and seeing them in the plastic form, the live form, and the dead form was giving me the impression that form is a state of consciousness, and I get to choose what state of consciousness I'd like to be in, and have positive outcomes based on whichever one I choose, because that, again, is your choice. So I hope this is making sense to you guys so far. Didn't want to get off topic there. But basically, just like there's going to be messages coming in that you're waiting on, that you've manifested, is what this row is saying. So patience is going to be key, because you are waiting for these things to be harvestable. You're waiting for these things to be present in your physical reality, which they will be soon, because the pages are here. So this could be communication coming in, or this could be you offering some level of communication, which then furthers the manifestation of whatever you're trying to create, the relationship or what have you. So in the third row, we have the, the 9 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. So 9 of Swords is another mental anxiety trap. So this is being... She's blindfolded, she's feeling trapped, she's feeling tied up. It's all in her head, though. All she has to do is open up her arms and take off the blindfold. They're not actually tied. They're not actually restricting her. This is not actually impeding her movement forward at all, as we can see with the 2 of Wands, which is about making choices. So it's your choice whether you want to remain stuck based on your negative self-talk and thinking patterns, or if you want to rewire and reprogram your brain by taking control of your thoughts. So instead of thinking this is never going to happen for me, or this person is not, you know, behaving in a certain way, instead of putting that energy out there, even if they are behaving in that certain way, putting the energy into focusing on the positive outcome, or the positive self-reassurance and self-love, that's what's going to allow you to break free from these bonds, make the decision to move forward, and get going, like get on the journey, because that's ultimately where you're going. And I just realized I pulled too many cards in this one, but I guess that was supposed to be. So there's actually 3 for this third row. So we've got the 9 of Wands. So we've got 2 9s in this row. Temperance and Judgment. So we've got 2 major arcana in this row alone with the 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. This is you having gone through past hurts before, and maybe that's why you're having this negative reaction to whatever is happening or not happening in your life. So to me, I feel like it's something that's not happening, and that's what's leading to this negative mental activity, that these mental gymnastics that you're putting yourself through and then exhausting yourself. And maybe, you know, you're trying to do these mental gymnastics and you end up getting hurt because that's what you've done in the past, is you've gotten hurt in the past, and there you're replaying what you expect to happen. So sometimes it's not about what's actually there, it's your expectation that is changing your actual reality. So Temperance and Judgment coming up together, this to me speaks of finding balance. So coming out, making the choice to come out of the mental and emotional restriction that you've allowed yourself to become complacent within. So this is coming out of that, finding balance, taking little steps and making little changes to be able to move forward in a healthy way. Because it's time to make that call, and it's time to find it within yourself to be able to come out of it whole. So instead of ripping yourself apart, put yourself back together, focus on that instead of putting your energy everywhere else and scattering it all over the place and ripping your own head apart. Like, that's not productive. And I'm not calling anybody out on it, because I've done it too, and I still do it. And it's just a process of temperance is about the process. It's like an experimentation. You change one little variable and then see what the outcome is. What's the result? And then go from there. Did it work? Did it not work? How can it work better next time? So it's changing little things so that you're not repeating the same cycle over and over and over again. Because the purpose of life is to come out of these cycles and to have learned something and not repeat them. Repeating the same thing over and over and over again is the definition of insanity to me. Why would you do that to yourself if you're not getting anywhere and it's not productive? So time to come out of that now and go into, we've got the Queen of Wands being clarified by the King of Swords. So we got a lot of royalty in the fourth row here. What was first was the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. She's focused. She's action-oriented, she is level-headed. King of Swords is similar energy, but it's thought-oriented. Instead of being so physically action-oriented, it's more about thought, logic, being honest. So I see this as you or somebody in your life, or relating to somebody in your life in a new way. So we've also got another King of Pentacles. So there's going to be a new beginning with this Ace of Wands in how you act towards somebody else in your reality, somebody who's close to you. There's a lot of kings and queens here, a lot of pages, so there's information coming in that's going to change the way that you look at somebody or the way that somebody looks at you. And I feel as though it's going to be positive if you have that mental intention for it to be so. Okay, so you are the creator of your reality. You are the magician of your reality. It's important for you to maintain your authority over your reality. Respect my authority. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. This is an opportunity that needs to be grasped by you. It's an action that needs to be taken towards the King of Pentacles, which is a very grounded, earthy, physical king. He's all about his abundance. He's about building foundations, strong foundations, which are going to last for a long time. So if that's what you're looking for and that's what you'd like to do, then maybe it's time to be a little bit more concise and open with your communication, because again, this is what I was feeling this whole reading even before getting to this point. So this is all about being honest, being straightforward, and not letting your ego stop you. So what I'm feeling is that you need to take your seat on your throne and stop limiting yourself with the doubts and the fears and the what ifs and the what if I get rejected, what if I get whatever it may be, all of these negative things that we tell ourselves, like maybe I'm not good enough, or they're gonna say that they don't love me and what have you. Okay, well, what if that is the worst case scenario? So what? So then what? You move on. You start again. There's going to be a death process, and it's going to take strength to get through it, but it's whether or not you're gaining anything from it in that moment. Are you thriving where you're at, or do you want to move out of that? Good or bad, it's going to be a time for change. So let's hope and pray, use your intention to create a good outcome. So my throat's getting dry. So overall, this weekend is going to be about getting out of your head. It's going to be about finding balance within yourself. It's going to be about manifesting something, and when you get these signs and signals, being aware of them and being able to interpret them in a way that is meaningful to you, and hopefully that you'll find something positive that comes out of that. Communicate from your heart, not from your head. Communicate honestly, openly, and authentically. And if the worst is to happen, then it's over and you can move on from it. But it's almost worse to be in your head about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like in the Lord of the Rings, I just saw, like, in my head, in the Lord of the Rings, when they're sitting up in that fortress and all of the armies are converging, and they're like, okay, well, we're on the verge of battle, but this is almost worse than the battle. It's the waiting. It's the overthinking, like, what's going to happen. So it's almost better to just go in and get it over with and just communicate and then see where it happens from there, because it is an opportunity. This is something that can produce something fruitful, something positive. It's going to be up to you to come at it with that attitude, with that mentality, and to move forward in that energy, in that resonance. So I'm going to leave it at that. Remember, this is a general reading for the collective, so if not everything resonated with you, don't worry. It's take what resonates and just leave the rest. Again, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that. All of the information is in the description box below, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to do lots of fun stuff coming up, so I love you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.